on time, because I got off the practice field, we're in Indiana, we're at a training camp in Indiana, so it was like 6:20, I got off the field, and you know how coaches go over, that was our second practice of the day. And our field goal kickers would have missed a couple field goals, I had to wait, because at the end of practice, I give all the announcements, so, but luckily, they made them, I got in the car, and I got here just in the nick of time, so we've been in training camp now. We go away to West Harrison, Indiana, a place called Higher Ground Conference and Retreat Center. It's unbelievable. If you haven't been there, we've been going there for 16 years now. So we're there tomorrow, and then we're there Saturday, or we come back Saturday. Camp ends Saturday, and we start school, get ready for the year. So it's an honor for me. This is a wonderful village we live in. You know, it's why it's actually, I was 21 full-time, but the years I was a GA, that doesn't count. So I'll start my 25th season for the Bearcats. And in college football, that's unheard of in one place. We move, they move, they move, they move, they move. But every time that's come up, my family said, you can go, we're staying here. You know, it was easier to tell Mark D'Antonio no. When the time to come to Notre Dame, I said, we're going. And they all voted, well, you're going yourself. So then I stayed, I'm glad I did. And then it was, you know, we didn't go to Tennessee, we stayed here. It's worked out. Because the university's kept me every time. I mean, they don't have to, but they have. So that's been good. So, and like Frank's my neighbor here, and what great neighbors and friends we have. But it's been a lot of fun. Our football program at the University of Cincinnati, and I think we get overlooked sometime. In the last 8 years, there's only 2 other football programs that have won more college games than Cincinnati, Oregon and Oklahoma. We've won more than everyone else, including Ohio State and anyone else. But it's been, it's a good school. It's a good school academically. I think the conference stuff has hurt us a little bit, but I think that'll be resolved pretty soon. But we compete at the highest level. This year, last year we won. We were probably one play away from playing, and we would have ended up in the Fiesta Bowl, which Central Florida went to. We lost to Louisville in the last seconds at home. So we lost some good players on that team. We lost Brendan Kane, went to the Steelers. But we returned a lot of good skill. Our skill this year is as good as we've ever had. Very talented. If our offense and defensive line can play well enough, I think we're favored to win the conference, which you never want to be favored to win the conference. You always want to sneak up on people. We're usually picked 5th or 6th, and we always win the conference. So now they've picked us to win the conference. But our skill is really good. Our quarterback, I don't know if you guys follow us, the horrible injury Munchie had a year ago. You would never know it. I mean, he's competing for the starting job and playing like he's never been hurt. And then Gunnar Kiel, the transfer from Notre Dame, is doing really, really well. And then we've got a junior. We had a junior college. We found a junior college kid, a kid named Jared Evans. He's amazing. He's the same type of quarterback as the quarterback at the Seattle Seahawks. Same type of guy. Speed, fast, can throw the ball. And he's from New York. He was in a junior college in California, and he's competing for the job too. We have a freshman that's good. So we've got 4 good guys competing for that job. And Jared has grown. I mean, he came from a family of kids in New York City. Now, I told my kids our kids in this village are blessed. And I called my son last night. We feed our kids unbelievably well. I mean, they eat more food, and that's the one thing I got to learn when I'm with them is I don't eat. I mean, we feed them unbelievable breakfast, unbelievable lunch, unbelievable dinner. Their snack at night is more than some of us eat in a day. And we had one kid. He's from Florida, and he told me the other day that's the first time he's eaten more than 1 meal a day in his life. So I called my son last night and I said, you got You know, so this same kid, Jared Evans, the reason I'm bringing, he was kind of similar. He's come from 8 boys in New York City. You can imagine how hard that is to raise a family there, and he's doing really, really well. So I think we'll be good. We got to play it in Paul Brown Stadium this year. They're building us a brand new $100 million nice facility up there. Construction is going really well. It's bad for this year because that's an unbelievable home field advantage for us. Nippert Stadium's hard for other teams to come play in. So we'll be at Paul Brown this year, and then we'll be back. Tough schedule. The former administration, you know, Mr. Babcock, who's a friend of mine, was a Terrace Park resident, who's at Virginia Tech now, and wanting out, we don't start until the 3rd week of the season. We don't start till September 12th, which is not good for us, but it'll be a straight shot through. We have to go to Ohio State, we have to go to Miami, Florida, and our league is very tough. And always playing Miami, Ohio is tough, our rival, although we've done well over the last number of years. So I just kind of wanted to open up for, I've done these before, and I think my job is all over the map. I mean, like you said, the things that I do on a daily basis, I'm in charge of our operations. Anything that the team does, I'm there. As Frank, as my neighbor, will know, from when we started camp on August 8th till signing day on February 4th, I worked 7 days a week, 18 hours a day, really 24, because my phone's on. My phone can ring at any time. I gotta do it. So we have an open week. You know, my son plays for Mariemont High School. I'm hoping to see him play maybe 3 or 4 times this year because I'm on the road. Where I'm with the team, and when we stay in town, when we play at home, our team stays at a hotel. I'm there with them. I'll leave if I'm at home to see him play if I can, but anything happens with the team, I'm responsible for. That's besides the head coach I report on. So I do everything from, you know, all of our travel, all of our oversee our budget as best I can with other people. Day-to-day operations, schedules, purchasing. We have a lot of people. We're out at Higher Ground. We have 105 players out there. We have 65 staff members out there. So it's a big operation. And I just have to take things away from the head coach and have all those different organizations work together. That's how it is at this level. You know, Ohio State's probably they probably have a few more people, but our organization is about as big as it is. So, but it's been fun. We've gone to, I was just telling somebody, we were figuring out 8 of the last 9 years we've gone to bowl games. They were a lot of fun, but they're a lot of work. Because now I'm not moving just a team, I'm moving everyone's families, because the nice thing when we go to a bowl game, all of our families get to go too. And we've been to some pretty good places. We've stayed at the Fountain Blue. Yes, sir.
The Higher Ground facility,
Yes.
Are you the only team that participates
Well,
there?
we're the only one there at this time. We take the whole camp. And if you ever have a chance to drive out there, it's amazing. We found it in 1999. Bob Goen was our AD. Bob Goen had come from Florida State. And we had a really good year in 97, kind of struggled a little bit, and he put a few of us in charge of going out and finding a place to go to training camp. And our band went there. And when we saw it, it was absolutely amazing. And they've turf fields there, they've built stores now. Since Brian Kelly left, Notre Dame tried to take it from us. Since Kerry Combs went to Ohio State's trying to take it from us. The Bengals have tried to take it from us. And Butch tried to take it from Tennessee. But that's a Cincinnati place. It's run by the Church of the Nazarene. They have 2 caretakers, but it's better than any NFL training camp facility there is. All the scouts that come in will say it's unbelievable. You guys are welcome to come anytime. So it's grown and grown and grown and grown, but they've grown with us.
So operations this season, how does the team feel about playing at Paul Brown, number 1? Number 2, how are we moving the students to the game?
Okay, that's
to and from?
with the team. I mean, it's nice to play in a pro stadium. Would they rather play on campus? Absolutely. But it is what it is. We're getting $100 million stadium out of it. The students, they actually started way back, our marketing department and our marketing department, our student government, the president, who's our biggest fan, I believe they have, it's up to, they have like 20 buses per game. Now, they made the kids so we have season tickets when we're in Nippert, and then we sell 3,000 student season tickets, and there's 7,000 season tickets for the students, which sell out in Nippert. But if you buy the student season ticket, then you get a pass on the bus to go back and forth. But they're finding out that a lot of the students are going to want to stay down there and party. And so they're going to make the headquarters for the tailgating. They were looking at Longworth Hall, but I think it's going to end up at the Banks, the Holy Grail, if you go down to there. That's a short walk down. But they're really catering to our students. And then I know they have student trips to Miami, Florida this year, and I think another one. It's a pretty good one. But that was a huge concern for us. And because of TV, we got to play on a Friday night against Toledo, so we go against high school football. We got to play on a Friday night against South Florida in Cincinnati, which we don't like to do. And then we have to play on a Friday night in New Orleans on Halloween at Tulane. So so when we're gonna do that, when I'm gonna put a team in a hotel, so I fly to New Orleans. We played in Sugar Bowl, so I know those hotels. I'm not staying anywhere near the French Quarter. Well, I stayed there when I went down there. But we're staying out at the airport because there's also Voodoo Fest going on at the same time. So we're going to be far away from that. So we're staying at the Hilton Airport, and I looked at all the things way away from the French Quarter. I've done that trip. Sure. Yes, sir.
I remember back in the 70s, I had UC football tickets, which I literally could not give away. And because UC was a
Right.
basketball school, and the football program has certainly come a really long way since then. I just wonder what now brings in the most money to UC, football or basketball?
Football is the front porch of the university. It's all these conference stuff, all these conference movements are all run by football, and football is the generating. I'll tell you this: when we did our press box, okay, we started with 18 suites at $1 million for 10 years. They were gone in 4 days, so they had to build 5 more. They squeezed 5 more in, and then they had to build patio suites, and then they added 250 club seats. Football by far is now. And the Bob Huggins stuff was amazing in all those years, and Mick Cronin's done an unbelievable job. But the front porch of the university now is a football program. No question.
Quite a change.
Yep. Yes, ma'am?
Who's the first guy that hit Munchie at camp?
He got,
I've been thinking about that since you guys went to camp. I've been a
Yeah.
season ticket holder for
Yeah.
like 20 years. And all I can imagine Munchie
the
the
ball
first
was on
time
the
I got
ground.
hit.
We generally don't hit our quarterbacks during practice. But he's got hit a couple times
Okay.
by accident, and he's done all right.
Okay,
He looks amazing.
good. Because that break was awful. I mean, and watching it that day was.
When it happened, I didn't see it, thank God. I was all the way down the bench. And so when something like that happens, our doctors are unbelievable. The people in Illinois were unbelievable. We immediately got his mother on a plane. Those are all the things that are going on the field.
Now,
right
do you
then and
handle
there.
that? Do you do that? Like getting his mom? Or?
Some things I handle,
Okay.
and then we have other, people handling things. But in his rehab, in Angelo Coliseum said he'll never play again. He will play this year, and he may be our starter. He's had an unbelievable camp. But Gunnar Keel's really good, and Jared Evans is really good too.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
We'll be, and our receivers are amazing. We just got to block for them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How about the kicking team?
We were awful last year. We redshirted him last year. We almost didn't. A kid named Eric Gantz, he's number 6, he'll wear 16 for us. Tony Miliano was our kicker. Freshman, he was a junior last year. He had a good freshman year was 2011. I mean, we were in Pittsburgh and we won that game against Pitt at Pittsburgh. He kicked 4
Yep.
in Heinz Field, which is really, really hard. And the last 2 were like from 47 and 48 to win it. There was a team that played there on Monday night. I think between the Steelers kicker and the other kicker, they missed like 6 field goals. And he was good. That was the year we went to the Liberty Bowl. He was good the next year. And then we have psychologists meet with him and everything. But we had the number 5 kicker in the country come to us last year. We redshirted him, and he may have beaten Tony out. He's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. Tony will still kick off for us. Tony was kicking out of the end zone today. And then our punter will probably be a kid from Moeller, Tracy. He probably would have beaten Lloyd out last year, but he hurt it. He actually came to us with an injured knee, and we totally redid it. And he's been really kicking the heck out of the ball. So all that will change. Better. Yes, sir.
This junior college quarterback, does he have just 2 years left?
He has 2 years. You know, so we may redshirt him, but it's always, you gotta win now. He's just too athletic, you know, can't give away our secrets, but we have special things designed for him, and it's all about winning now. So he'll probably play.
It seems like a waste, because you got 4 great quarterbacks.
Yeah, but Garner has 3 years now, 2 left, so, and then the freshman, Hayden Moore, that we got from Alabama last year, and you hope some of these kids don't transfer, but Hayden Moore has been amazing as a young quarterback. He came in January. A lot of these kids is amazing. There's so much pressure. They graduate early in December, and in January they're in, we bring them in early so they can go through spring football. And then we signed we have a commitment. Hopefully we'll sign a kid named Ross Trail out of Arkansas, who's an amazing quarterback for next year. Hopefully, we got to sign him on February 1st. But he was in the camp that's in New Orleans, and he's one of the highest rated quarterbacks.
And you got him?
Oh, he's committed to us, so we got to wait till he signs. Without an early signing date, anything can happen between now and February 1st. But we'll see. I don't want to bore you guys. Any other questions?
With the completion of the renovation, what will be the seating capacity of the
It'll
stadium?
go, we picked up 2,500 seats right away. We didn't really lose many seats with the renovation underneath. We picked up 2,500 club seats. And with the suites, and they're gonna be able to add a little bit, we'll get a little bit closer to 40,000. We'll get a little bit about 40,000. And working with another league, so say we get invited to the Big 12 someday, we always have Paul Brown if we need it. So, but 40,000 is a nice stadium for us. Yes, sir?
I'm gonna apologize in advance for this question, because
Yeah.
it's not gonna be the nicest one, but I've gotta just ask, as not a UC grad or fan really. It sounds like UC's gotten some really good quarterback commitments, like Gunnar Kiel was, for example, I think the #1 rated passer his senior year, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
He might have been, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was, because he actually committed to Notre Dame first, I think.
Right, and they didn't want to lose him.
Right,
They did not
right.
want to lose him.
So why are these quarterbacks and these other players committing and coming to UC instead of, say, an Ohio State or one of the other big name programs?
I
I'm just
think
curious what you think that is.
it's all, where you go, where you have to have a feel. I mean, we're in a pro town. Our kids get tremendous visibility. We've had great quarterbacks with Zach Caleris or Brendan Kay. There's so few kids that play in the NFL. I mean, there are only 54-man rosters. So you also go. I think kids go and they choose where they feel comfortable with the coach, with the environment. Academically, our school is outstanding. That plays a role. You know, it's just, our coaches work hard. Our coaches work hard recruiting, you know? It's all about relationships. It doesn't matter what you have on your chest. If you don't build relationships with people and recruiting and families, it doesn't matter. I mean, you're not gonna send your child to somewhere just because it says LSU if you don't like the coach, if you don't like the coaches, if you don't like the campus, if you don't think he'll be successful there. And our kids graduate. We have one of the biggest APRs, best APRs. Our kids come to school and graduate. So, you know, I mean, you know, it's you know, we have a good staff. We have a good staff. You know, our support staff. A lot of our support staff has been there through all these coaches, and all these coaches have tried to take us. But we live in a great city. Cincinnati is a great city. I have friends. I worked with all those guys from Notre Dame. They all live near South Bend. They'd rather be living right here in this town. Those guys are my friends in Knoxville. They'd rather be living right here. Those are my guys, friends in East Lansing. They'd rather live right here. Friends that have gone to Ohio State to work for them. We live in a great city here. You have the Reds, you have the Bengals, think of the concerts that were here this summer. We live, and the last couple head coaches have tried to live in this village. They just haven't found a house that they like, so they live over in Terrace Park. So we live in a great place. Cincinnati is a great city. Yes, sir.
What percentage of the players go on to pro?
Oh, very well. So I guess if you start looking, you look at, there's 31 teams, okay? They have 54. I would say, I think it's like 3% of college players end up in the NFL. So that's why education, all of our kids graduate. So so we have 22 seniors on our team right now. Probably 12 or 13 of them are in graduate school, already done. Because they go to school year round. They don't go home. They go to summer. I mean, it's a year-round job. They go to summer school and they graduate, and they all stay here. All the kids from Florida come from California, whatever. They all live here in this town in Cincinnati. Very few leave. It's amazing. Since I've been there, the last 20 years. So.
I've met a lot of the kids that have graduated in the last couple of years. Like if you go out, like if there's a away game or something,
Yeah.
you go to a bar or something, you always run into an ex-player or, you know, a player, and they praise the coaches, they praise about their time at UC. I never hear anything negative.
And it's been really, our door's always open, like training camp, anytime they wanna come out, bring their families, whatever. You know, we don't have a lot of them that need to go for 5th and 6th years. We find aid for them. Most of them graduate. So, and they do really well, and they love UC, and we've had really good kids, so we're very lucky. You know, again, knock on wood, you know, we've had good kids, because things can go bad in a hurry. You know, you just read what happens out there, you know, things can go bad in a hurry. Yes, ma'am?
Yeah, I just wanna say how thrilled I am that UC has progressed the way it has. In my family, there are 8 of us graduated from UC, and just
Yeah.
to see the way it's, developed, it's just been exciting, and the campus seems like a campus now.
It is,
Before, they
yeah.
were more divided in areas,
Yeah.
but it's just exciting going over there, and, just the atmosphere is very
Just in my 25 years there, the way it's changed, it's so beautiful, and Dr. Ono's wonderful.
Great.
And some of the great things they're doing at UC, okay, so they have an institute, where companies come in and pay like an X amount of money, and they pull these students, and we've developed a Google car a couple of years ago there, and, you know, the thing that almost happened was Hughes High School almost became the stem cell research center of the United States, but, I mean, it's a really good school, and I got my master's from there, but, I mean, just so proud, you know. Our kids we're Cincinnati, it's a great town. It's a great town. Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you could change a couple things about college football, what would they be?
Well, you know, I'm really, you know, I would think, first thing I would wish, you know, here's what, the first thing I would change is just the way TV, the the way TV, like change, like everything's with TV. Okay, so here's the reason the Big East broke up. Okay, because ESPN offered, we were making in football or whatever, our TV contract was $8 or $9 million a year, and the Big Ten was making 22 million, and ESPN offered the Big East at the time about $14 million a year for our TV contract, and our presidents and our ADs said, well, wait a minute, we have our basketball league's as good as any as there is and all that. So they told ESPN no. Well, then ESPN said, we're gonna break the conference up. So they took Pitt and Syracuse and sent them to the ACC. And so that's the kind of thing that I don't like. I wish, our kids, I'm not all about, the stipends and all that kind of stuff. Our kids get treated unbelievably well. They get an unbelievable education. They get unlimited meals, our scholarship players. They get an education. I mean, just think how much it costs to send a kid to college, and to have that all paid for you, 100%. And people to tutor you at any need, doctors that care for you, people to train you. It's amazing. So, for us, I wish we were, and I think we will, because of our market size and our success, be back in one of the power conferences. I think it'll all change again. I don't like the playoff. I wish it was just a national championship.
But in reality, doesn't this stipend, you've got the 5 major conferences that can basically open up their pocketbooks to the
Right.
players. How are you gonna recruit against that unless?
Cincinnati will do whatever they do. Our league, the AAC, the American Athletic Conference, we will do whatever the Power 5 does. We will do.
Do they have the money?
We'll have the money. We will do it.
Your biggest game this year, I'm assuming, is Ohio State, right?
Our biggest game is probably our first game. We take them one at a time. Miami is a huge rival. Ohio State. This will probably be the last. We're supposed to play them in 219. I don't think we'll play them in 219. I think this will be the last time we play Ohio State for a long time.
But do you think you have a chance?
Oh,
They are a
absolutely.
powerhouse. They're probably rated #1 in the country, aren't they, at this point?
They lost their quarterback. They lost their starting quarterback.
Oh, they lost the quarterback.
Braxton's out.
Yep.
I have to order an Inquirer.
So we played them, the last couple times we played them,
In that pocket.
we had them beat in Paul Brown Stadium.
I remember that.
And then, we played them in 2000, I think the last time we played them was 2004. And that was our first year, and so my friend, he's the head coach at Michigan State, Coach D'Antonio was still a coach learning his first year. And and I don't know what that score was, it was a couple touchdowns, but we didn't do a good job that year. And, we went to a bowl game that year, we went to the Fort Worth Bowl game, but, every team is so good. There's not much, it's like the NFL, the margin is so little. And if you play good defense and you're fast and you don't turn the ball over, you can win. Yeah. And we gotta go to Miami, Florida, that's gonna be tough. But they've had all their problems down there, so we'll see. Yes, sir.
How big of a deal do you think it is that Braxton Miller's entered? If you guys are gonna play a match, you guys are watching pretty close.
I'm sure that they, I would think they have enough skill at their other positions, they're really, I think they're really talented, so he's a great player, I'm glad we don't have to play him, but.
It seems like they did fine without him. They make such a big deal about it, but.
Yeah, it's the next guy up, they're all good players, As you lose one, you go to Notre Dame, they lost 4. They lost their best receiver, they lost their best linebacker, and something they have going on there. That would hurt more, I would think. Yes, sir?
What do you think's gonna happen as far as paying the players is concerned?
Well, I think they're gonna okay a stipend of about $2,000. Well, to their defense, you know, it's impossible to work when you have the schedule our kids do. So I think they're gonna okay a stipend of $2,000 a year. But, you know, in some of the leagues of the SEC and all that, you know, I assume all that stuff's been going on in certain schools, you know. But at least they can control it at that point, and that would just go in. And here's the other thing is, so also student athletes can get Pell if they come from an underprivileged family, so that goes the full cost of attendance is a Pell scholarship. So you get a scholarship, and then your Pell kicks in, and right now they get like, if you come from an underprivileged family and you play for us, and you're Pell eligible, you do get $2,000. It gets refunded you in a check to buy things like clothes and all that kind of stuff. You know, stuff like that. But we'll see where it goes. The biggest thing that's changed this year is they used to say when we feed kids, now you, as long as it's, and this has taken up all my time, me and our nutritionist and all that, just as long as, if you have a practice, you can feed your kids now before and after, if they lift in the morning to have breakfast. So we have these unbelievable fuel stations for them. So our people that just give money to football, all of our money, it's all going, instead of buying newer video systems, it's all going to food back to the kids, and, you know, and supplementing their fuel. But all of our athletes that live on campus have unlimited meal plans. They can eat as many times as they want from 6 a.m. to midnight, because our dining halls are open at that time. They just won't want to go there. They'll want to come to the locker room and have it there for them. So that's since that rule will change, it's really, because Cincinnati will do as much as any other school will do. We'll do what anyone else does. Well, guys, hopefully I didn't bore you guys. So I'll stop home, see the kids, and it's back to training camp.
Drive safely home.
I will.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Really appreciate it.
All right, thank you.